Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Core Conversations for Wednesday. And we got our dad goals. We got a freestyle Wednesday where you can just join in the conversation. We're going to recap having Fabrice from Pilates in France yesterday, and we're just going to have a good time. We're just going to chill out and just do our thing. So thanks for joining. Healthy value. So like, subscribe, and share. Carrie, what's going on? And Renee, good to see you again. Hope everything's good. Anyone going to Momentum Fest? Body Wellness, how's it going? Momentum Fest is coming up. Are there any other workshops? Interesting. Our friend Fabrice was in the chat yesterday. That was a conversation we had yesterday. Where is it? This guy. This is a celebration of how far we've come along with these core conversations chats. So, Carrie, this is look at that, April 7th, 2020. That was the last time Fabrice was on. So that was early in the game. We may have been a month into doing core conversations. This is the logo. This is the poster that we were using. And Fabrice had joined me in the chat, so I invited him to come on for a full combo. And let's take a second just to celebrate the evolution of where our core conversations come from. So that is old school. How about that? All right, we got the sound back. Sound is back, and I'll tell you how I magically fix the sound. There's this little mic button right beside the picture, and I had pressed, and that is why the sound was gone. I pressed the mute button by accident. Hey Alex, how's it going, love? For my wife who just tuned in, we just spent the last 5 minutes trying to troubleshoot why the sound wasn't working, and I pressed the mute button by accident. So wasted 5 minutes of our conversation because my thumb hit the wrong button, but now we're here and we're dialed in. How's everybody doing? Good? Good. That's the kind of morning it's been. Whew. I want to talk about something that happened yesterday. I did my core conversations. We had Fabrice in. Fabrice is my guest who I had from 2 years ago. He came in, and today is normally the day where I would have Misty Lynn Cawthon as my co-host. I'm not going to go into Misty's business, but she's very busy right now, family stuff going on, as well as just life and work and stuff. So we've been battling to find a Wednesday to get back on track with our co-hosting of these core conversations. I knew that she knows Fabrice, and he's doing some great work. Fabrice, if you don't know, applies instructor in France, crazy mover, amazing. Talk about men doing Pilates, and just with his dance background, just his posts are just ridiculous. This guy could do anything. So I messaged Misty at 9:15 and said, hey, Fabrice is on today, could you jump in? She's like, can't do tomorrow, today I can make it happen. She came in, and the conversation was good. It was light, it was fun. We didn't solve the problems of the world. We cracked a couple jokes. We broke down the word performance, which I want to talk about a little bit more today. And it was just life-giving for Misty. She messaged me after just to say thank you and just love the conversation. And I think that as much as these conversations are great in the perspective of opening up the doors of conversation and highlighting people who are doing great work in the industry and challenging racism and challenging inclusion issues and accessibility and diversity and all these big high-level buzzwords and concepts. There's something to be said for laughter. There's something to be said for fellowship. There's something to be said for friendship. And I felt like even though it wasn't a fruitless conversation, it was a good conversation yesterday. But the benefit that I had for her, for Fabrice, and for me to just sit back and watch these guys just like run jokes about these, back in the day playing dance or playing basketball, and Fabrice has no clue how to play basketball, and he has Tony Parker in his city doing basketball programs, and Misty talking about being 5'4" amongst giants in Pittsburgh playing basketball. It was fun. It was a good moment to just check out of life, have a couple laughs, and go on with your day. That is just as powerful as having these big, deep, tear-jerking conversations, and I forget about that sometimes. I like a deep conversation. I'm not a superficial person. I like having these get-to-know-you conversations and just diving deep into stuff. But that light conversation, that fun conversation from yesterday was just a breath of fresh air for her and for many of you as well. So check that out from yesterday, and I just wanted to just acknowledge that for a second that there's power in our fellowship, there's power in our friendship, there's power in laughter, and sometimes that medicine is just as good as a prescription, just as good as a deep philosophical, heart-to-heart conversation. Seemed to be good. Debbie, how are you? She was in the chat yesterday. And Debbie, if you want to join me on screen, I'd love to have you just to talk about yesterday's conversation and just get your perspective on it. Give me a thumbs up if you want to join. Who's there? Saltuk in India. I'd love to have you join me for a conversation at some point as well. Let's book that in. Let's make that happen. All right. right. And Shannon, thank you so much for joining me. I love the fact that you're jumping into these IG lives with me. It's been so good. Robbins, Scotland in the house. Not sure if that worked. Good coffee this morning. Debbie, I just invited you on. I'm not sure if you got the invite. Send a request if you want to jump in. While we're waiting, Shannon, how was your mentoring thing the other day? Okay, she's on. Debbie says you're unable to join. We're talking about mentoring. You said that you had another program coming up, I think. How did that go? And if you want to join me on screen too, I'd love to have you on as well. Okay, let's see her. Air control. Hi, my friend.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good. Did you catch it yesterday? Did you catch like just that friendship these guys had as they were like going through our chat yesterday?
Did I catch? Say that again. Repeat it again. Did I catch the chat?
The chat yesterday. Just the interaction between Fabrice and Misty. Just like they're.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I missed the first bit of this, so I don't know where you're going with it or what you're speaking about. But yeah, the chat about conversation about performing.
Yes.
And the idea of feeling it in your body and what I'm just trying to remember what they were saying. Yeah, the idea of I guess it's what
the performance part.
And,
yeah, I talked about the performance. I talked about just the two of them just cracking jokes about basketball and stuff like that. But actually, the other part, since I have you, was around the intimidation of teaching when a teacher is in the room.
Oh yeah. I didn't have an answer for that because you asked as well. You were like, "What have you? What do you know? What I would say for me, it depends on. Do you know? And maybe it shouldn't. Maybe I should rise above this and be stronger than it. But it's in the interaction. So Misty, say for example, I was nervous because I really cared and I really wanted it to be great, and because she was open. I then stepped into, she made me feel really confident, and then I actually gave even more and more, and I was able to pour information out. Whereas if the person is resistant, I find if I had a mentor and they were then resistant to it, and maybe I felt a bit of doubt or resistance, I would then find I would maybe back off. It wouldn't be, I doubt myself.
You turtle up a little bit.
Yeah, but then maybe I think that's what it shouldn't affect you. Maybe you should rise above that. But I guess I would feed off the other person. So if they were hesitant, then I would react with that, I guess. Whereas if the person was just great, give me more. I don't understand it, but I love it. What's this? What's that? Ask me more intriguing questions. Then I would just pour into them everything that I knew, that I had the information of. And so I think it would be so say, for example, if there were certain Pilates gurus or elders, or even if they weren't Pilates, just people that really knew their information, I would feel I would always feel, apprehensive, nervous to first teach them, because you if you really care about what you, or I feel like I do, then I'm then it brings about nervousness, but it's an excitement, because I'm oh my God, wait till you see the magic of this.
Yes.
And
yes. So let me ask the question to those in the chat right now. How many of you have had to teach with a teacher that you respect in the room? Just quick show of hands. And were you intimidated by that? Or did you just overcome it? It's no big deal. It didn't matter that this first generation teacher was in the room with me, sort of thing. Is that an intimidating moment for you?
Yeah, it'd be
It's
interesting to know
because,
what others think, what others
yeah, exactly.
experience as well.
Misty was saying that she has colleagues who will never take a class. Who, if she's in the class, they will not teach it, like, sort of thing.
Misty is just brilliant though. Misty was so like Misty was just so intrigued and asking questions, and then like she was open, so I just was able to give and give. Like I gave so much when I felt like, and people said to me like, America really suited you, because I really felt like I was like, oh, I was like, the people were just so open and wanted to know information and were excited by it, and I guess it was like at my level. What's this
Yes,
one?
it's such a. So
Yeah.
tell me where you're from and where you're teaching and stuff like that, just for the new people in the chat who don't know you as a friend of. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm based in Scotland at the moment, but obviously with the business changing with COVID, I teach internationally online all over the world. But prior to that, I was just in person, and I was doing it like around the UK. I'd done a little bit overseas in Europe, and then I went to Misty's studio in Pittsburgh in America, and I did just love it. Like I loved because it's I guess I have a lot of energy, and like when I used to train in aerial, I trained with a lot of American aerialists as well.
Yes.
And they were like, Debbie, you're not UK, like yeah, I guess I have a lot of energy, and it's not always you know, sometimes it is welcome in the UK, but sometimes I can then people maybe think I'm like too much or something like that. But
yes,
I just have really good energy, and I'm pursuing
excitement.
My purpose. So I don't
yes.
have anything, like I don't have a drain. I have an energy, I have a passion, I have a love for what I do, and I pour it into that. So it like energizes me more when I share it. It's movement, and it makes you feel good, and it's like everything just is flowing downstream. And so then
yes.
all I want is people to flow that into, you know. So if they don't
yes.
have, they could be like questioning me and like unsure, or you know, like ask me intriguing questions about the work, and then I'm great. But it's if then people, you know, block or doubt or you know, suppress, then I find it harder to flow the energy in, and I get more nervous teaching people. But I not get nervous if someone had a block. But I guess it's if they bring doubt, their own doubt. But that's sometimes intriguing, because that is what the work is, I find anyway, with aerial Pilates, is that it brings in, sorry, I'm saying that word again.
I just, it's just funny. I'm just listening to you talking. I'm like, yes.
All right.
Go on.
And
yes.
I'm like, but it's, yeah, the work that I'm doing with the aerial Pilates is it brings in, like you can't do it without visiting people's fears, doubts, blockages, obstacles. So then, and on a physical level, but then it becomes a mental, because they have a conversation about it, maybe not. And then it opens up conversation about other things, like further developing things. And then it affects their whole life. Like,
right.
You know, where do we hold? And everybody does it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we're human. We're not robots. We have like little blockages. Yeah. We have like little obstacles, pebbles, things, you know, and it's beautiful when they burst free, and then you realize like, oh, that's like a barrier I'm putting on myself, and I don't even need it. Why am I doing that? Like, it's the story, and you know?
That's exactly it. Like the word barrier. I think that when I'm in those situations, I'm gonna read everyone's comments in a second. When I'm in those situations, they're popping up now. When I'm in those situations where I feel like that, I think about the fact that this is a threshold. If I can break through this, then I'm going to be in a whole new space. I'm going to be in a whole new room. If I can get over myself for this moment where I feel like I am intimidated, or I'm second guessing myself. I'm overthinking the situation when it comes to this opportunity to teach. And I said this yesterday. Don't let what you don't know make you forget what you do know.
Yes.
And I think that we go into those situations and think, oh no, this person's in the room. What don't I know? Or what am I trying to get across? And we forget about the whole library of experience that we have as well that we're bringing to the table. We get so fixated on what we might mess up or what we might not know in this moment. But there's so much that we do know, and you bring that out. And like you said, when someone is asking questions and you get into a place of, let me just pour more of myself into this person and into this situation. And that's perfect. Let me roll back to some of these comments here.
Yeah.
Shannon Picor says, teaching other teachers can be a challenge, but such a learning experience. Yes, can you focus on what you can learn from it, what you can glean from that experience instead of what might go wrong? Carrie is saying, you have the perfect amount of energy. Debbie, agreed. And Helen Hayes is saying, when you're after my certification, a really good renowned teacher from the US dropped in for a class. I recognized her straight away and just said that there was no way I could teach her. And she was so good and kind to me. And
Who said that and what happened? Yeah. I want to know more.
Yeah, so that's Helen. So she was good and so kind to me and went through the class together. I learned a lot from that class and I've been grateful ever since.
Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Helen, if you want to join us on screen, I'd love to hear, like, put some color into that story. That'd be so interesting to hear. And like, what was that, what did you learn from that? And how did that help you when there was a teacher who was intimidated when you walked in the room and you were going to take their class? How did you make them feel more comfortable? How did you help them to put their armor down?
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, what Misty was saying yesterday as well, I find that, like, what Misty was saying, like, I want to take class, and I feel the same. I'm like, I want to take an aerial Pilates class. And then if the teachers that I've trained say, I don't want you in my class, I think, no, like, I just want to do your class. Like,
yeah. I'm always, like, go ahead. Sorry.
I wouldn't want to be someone that, I would want to be an encourager. So if that person say, hey, I'm just here to enjoy your class because you're great, and I'm going to notice all the things that you do well, and if you need support, I'm here. But I wouldn't want to be, I would feel like, I wouldn't feel the best about myself if I found that person was just intimidated by me and just really hated it. That wouldn't be the energy that I would want to come across. Like, I would want to be an encourager, but, you know, in the right, professional way.
Yes. And Shannon is making the point I was just about to make. We need to realize that teachers still have things that they can learn. It's a two-way street. And I think that's how I approach those things. Like, let me see if I can invite Helen in while we're doing this here. I can invite her in. And there. So Helen, I just pressed invite, so you should be able to jump in and be a third person on a screen in a second. I'll see my point.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Maybe.
Circling. Where is Helen?
Oh, there she is. Hi, Helen.
Hi.
There's a little bit of a lag, but we'll wait for it. It usually settles in, so we'll just hang out for a second.
I've not got good connection.
I can hear you. It's a little bit of a lag, but it's...
Yeah, I've got a thing going around and I'm good.
This is a delay.
Do you want me to go out and come back in?
Sure. Let's see if that works. Go out and come back in and we'll see if we can make that work.
Okay. I don't know how to come. Okay.
Top X in the top corner. There you go. Okay, so while she's coming back in, when I go into those situations when there's a new teacher, I'm looking at it like, what? It's gonna sound wrong, but like, what can I steal from this person? Like, what can I learn? What little nugget? What cue or what wording or what tactile cue? What is something that I can learn from the way that they're teaching that I can incorporate into my teaching?
Yeah.
Regardless of how experienced or whatever, like there's something that you can like, you know what I mean? Like there's every now and then there's like some cue. I'm doing the exercise. I'm like, that was brilliant. And I'm like, write that down and get back into the work. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But I guess because we can be in our heads when we're constantly teaching other people. So then all we just want is a bit of influence to inspire it to, just shift something a little bit. And sometimes it doesn't have to be like, you know, better or worse, just different. Can just give us a different path.
Yes, getting those nuggets from others, absolutely.
Oh, that's better.
A little bit better.
Is it? Okay, okay. I can hear you. I can see you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Helen, where are you located again?
I'm English. I live in France, and I work in Paris.
Okay, amazing.
I was working in Paris. The studio where I work just closed down, but after COVID, it didn't survive COVID, and for a space to open up my own studio, so that's different.
Before you share your story, can I just take a picture with my Europe people in the chat here?
Aww.
Oh yeah.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so share your story. So this teacher walks into your room and you didn't want to teach, and then what?
It's 1 year after my certification. So, you know, I was a fitness teacher before, and when I was a fitness time personal, and obviously when you do Pilates, I found it anyway, something completely different to what I'd learned up till then.
A new language.
And you're still learning what are you looking for? Hey, totally new language. And it took me a while to let go of what I knew, what I thought I knew, you know, what I'd learned. And I was told I had to let go of it. And it took me a long time to sort of say, okay, forget what you've learned, forget what you know, and try and absorb this language. Anyway, this lovely American teacher, when I went, I just recognized her. And she said, where have you been trained? And I said, Romanas. And she said, great. And I thought, I don't know anything. You come out of certification, you know the apparatus, you've been taught, you know it all, you've got your certificates up on the wall, but I felt I didn't know anything. And I said to her, I can't teach you. I cannot teach you anything. And she said, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And she was brilliant. And she lay down, and I, on the reform, I started doing the footwork. And I didn't even know, I just lost it. I didn't even know where to look. And I said, I can't teach you. I'm just seeing perfection, it just looks too good. And she slowed down and she said, okay, these are my weaknesses. Look. And she taught me where to look, when to look. Amazing. What can you see with spine, short spine massage? Go to that. Okay, what can you see? And it was like a class. I mean, I didn't, she wasn't charged for the class. I said, I learned, we went through everything together, and I learned. She was adorable. I learned so much from that class. It was like a master class. It was so, and she told me what she needed. I wouldn't have seen them. My eyes weren't sharp enough at the time, to see, there's this hip. She said, my hip's tight. I didn't see her hip was tight. No, and she showed me, look, when it was amazing. She was wonderful.
That's in golf, I'm not a golfer, but like you can do like a lesson where they kind of they do a video analysis and they teach you your stroke and stuff, or you can pay for what they call a teaching lesson, a playing lesson, where they go on the course with you and they're like, take this club, let's see your swing. What were you thinking about grabbing? I would grab this one instead. Do it like this. So it's almost like a playing lesson. And it sounds like, Helen, like that's what you got there. You almost got like a playing lesson as opposed to like an instructional lesson in a sense.
Absolutely. And it was just my nerves, I was so nervous when she walked in, and you just want to, just want the ground. Oh my God, I can't teach her. Can anybody else teach her? And it was invaluable. It was an invaluable lesson. And as I said, I was forever grateful, because it depends. Not everyone would react that way, and, she could have said, well, I've come for nothing, or, but she was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Aww. That's a lovely story.
Yeah, I was really lucky. Yeah, and it's, we get these lucky breaks, you can, so much depends on who you meet and the luck of that meeting.
Yes.
And it can just give confidence. And it takes you to another level. Oh, right. Okay. And I really learned a lot in that class.
Yes, she lifted you up.
To look, and I hadn't that much how to look, how to look. How to look.
Have you had that opportunity? Sorry, have you had that opportunity have you had that opportunity where you've gone into a class and been able to kind of pay that forward?
With fellow teachers who are less experienced, I've helped them out. So I don't know I don't consider myself to be, one of those top, but with fellow teachers, and even before when I was a teacher, and when teachers would show up and they didn't know how to do step class, I would teach them how to do step. I enjoyed it. So
yes.
And I'm not intimidating, and to teach, to take someone else there, it's fabulous. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is helping each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. Debbie, are you still there?
I'm still here.
You still there, Debbie? Is
okay.
there a lag?
It's just going slow-mo for me.
Yes, I know. I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a bit slow, which is fine. I'd much rather have that slow conversation with you amazing people in the room, and we just figure out the time delay.
This is a completely different story. It's not Pilates, but it's the same sort of thing. When I was a personal trainer and I was working, this is like 20 years back, and I was working one of the very top hotels in Paris. There was a spa where they did massage right next to it, and the guy, this is 20 years ago, the massage wasn't very much developed here, and the guy who ran the spa came to me and said, "Helen, do you massage?" I said, "No, I don't know how to move my hands." He said, "Listen, you'll be okay. There's a guy in there. I'm talking about the top hotel. There's a guy in there. I haven't got any massage therapist and I can't stay. Go in. Everything is there." I didn't know. I'd never massaged anybody. I'd never had a massage in my life. I had no idea of what to do, and I was thrown. And I thought, well, what can I do? I've got three options. Either I go in and I say to the guy that was on the table, "Sorry, there's no one around. Come back tomorrow." Or I say, "I don't know how to massage, but I'll massage." Or I'll just say nothing. You've done your anat. Know which way the fibers go. Let's see how it goes.
Yes.
And I didn't even know how to. I'd never had a massage in my life. I'd seen films where they're chopping like this, but I'd never had a massage or anything. And so I didn't even know where to be. Started off with his pinky toe. The poor guy, he had the most dreadful massage in his life. It must have been totally asymmetric. And when he turned over on his back,
Debbie,
eyes were wide open, and I thought, this is bad. And
we're missing the story.
I know. I'm like, oh, intense. This is intense. To have not had a massage, to not give him one. I feel like I'm on tender hooks to hear more.
Right. Thanks, Carrie. Oh, I think she had to log out and come back in. Helen Hayes.
Hopefully she comes back in. That was really interesting. I've had loads of massages. I'm trained in massage, like loads of different types of massage. So you know, I understand it from that perspective, but the thought of giving someone a massage if you haven't trained in it and you haven't had one, like,
right.
I want to know more about her story. She's a
Right.
brave soul.
I know, right? I mean, so I think what she was getting to is that, like, because she's already in fitness and understands muscle and understands like fascial lines and stuff, I think, yeah, the fibers. I think she's gonna figure it out. What do you think in the chat happens at the end of the story?
What happens in the video?
Yeah.
This is like a what's it called? Cliffhanger. What happens?
Yeah, this is a complete cliffhanger.
Is she saying
so
I just
funny.
couldn't do it, or is she saying I went for it?
I think she said she went for
Here we go.
Yeah, so
Helen is a brave soul, but it is understanding
so
the
funny.
body, though, isn't it?
Yeah. What's going on, Rick?
Hello.
Okay, Helen. So you left that as a complete cliffhanger. Can you like finish that story, please? This is, and sorry for those who are just jumping in. Debbie's in Scotland and Helen is in France right now. So we have a bit of a delay. So we'll make it happen though. So yeah, story.
Sure. So got to the end of the massage.
Oh.
Come on.
France. Yeah, I'm in France. I'm in Paris. Yeah.
What's going on here?
It's all this water between us. All.
True story.
Helen, what happened? Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, I can't hear you.
I can't. There's a delay too.
Oh.
Killer.
I think you should do it in the medium of dance and movement. You should tell us.
I can hear sound. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear Debbie. I can hear.
Yes.
I can hear. I can hear, but I can't. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yep.
Yeah? It's good? Next episode?
Yeah, your voice just isn't matching the screen for me.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay, let's go. So the guy at the end of the massage, he looked at me and he said, "What sort of massage was that?" And I didn't know what to say. And I said, well, it's, and he said, "Was it a massage from a physiotherapist?" I said, "Yeah."
You're brave,
and I said,
Helen.
"Yeah,
well done."
it was." And he signed his name for the room, and off he went. And I thought I'd better learn massage fast. And a friend of mine, now this is back in the day of VHS cassettes, friend of said, "I've got a great VHS cassette, put this in, learn it, blah, blah, blah." So the choreography of a massage, and it was a brilliant choreography. And I was massaging my husband, my son, everything. Got to do some crazy things. Anyway, and it was a really good, it was really, I started to enjoy it. And the guy, the spa managers taught me some things. Anyway, the following Monday, it was the following Monday, my spa manager, or the spa manager came to me and he said, "The same guy's back." And I said, "Look, if he sees me, he's going to get up and walk out." I said, no, go in. And so I learned a lot in 1 week. I learned really a lot. I oiled someone, and I learned the whole thing. And I went and thought, right, you are going to get a massage of your life. And I put my whole life into this massage. And at the end, he had his eyes closed this time. And he opened his eyes and he said, "Wow." And this guy So we started talking. This guy was the king of Morocco's doctor. Now, I was really lucky. When I say about meeting up, I was lucky because he didn't throw me out on that first massage. He was patient. It was a rubbish massage. He was patient, and it gave me confidence massage. And
yes,
from then on, I became a massage therapist as well, and I just loved every single bit of it. Since then, people came through. I massaged so many people, and I was lucky with that first meeting, as I was lucky when this wonderful Pilates teacher walked through the door. So it's luck that plays a lot of. If I'd had some other guy that
that was worth the story.
That was one awesome story. Wait, did I hear it right? It was the King of Monaco's doctor?
King of Morocco's doctor.
Morocco's? Yeah.
Monaco or Morocco, one of the two.
I think you're right. I think it's Morocco.
That is that's a crazy
That's a story. She's got good stories.
Did you catch how she went on to become a massage therapist?
I was hit. Oh, here.
You back?
Is that you back, Helen? What was the last part?
It's a long delay there.
Yeah.
Helen, if you can just type in the chat, like, was it King of Morocco's doctor or King of Monaco's? We missed that part.
Hello. I'm back in. Can you hear me, Steve? Is it bad? Is it
bad delay? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
Morocco. Amazing, Helen.
Right. Yeah, this is amazing. We definitely gotta have you on again, Helen, when we can get the get this delay out of the way.
Shall I go out and then you can just speak to Helen?
I think it's a feed. Yeah, I think it's a feed. No, it's okay. Maybe we almost time to go anyway. Maybe Helen, let's get you to sign off and just see. I want to get you on again another time because this delay is pretty heavy. There you go. This is what I was gonna say actually when she was talking about how this guy, before we found out it was the King of Morocco's doctor, when this guy was how's he put this? She was giving, oh no, it was the teacher before, that's right, the teacher, how like the teacher was able to talk her through it and encourage her and just like all that stuff, right? So it looked like she was receiving that from this teacher when the reality is that she had been giving that to others before.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things that sometimes we forget. Like we receive something from somebody and we feel so indebted for them giving to us. But then if you stop and think about it, what if you're receiving that because you had been giving it? Like the cycle didn't start with them. The cycle started with you. And they're returning the favor for something you did for someone else instead of you feeling like you're indebted and need to return the favor for someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also the thing of give and receive is just that it's like giving doesn't mean that you're depleting yourself. Giving sometimes means that you energize and inform yourself. You know, you don't give away, you give, and sometimes it can, you know, inform you when you're teaching, or
right,
when you're,
exactly.
you know, it's like yeah, it's and I think that's what can energize us as a teacher and make us not feel like, oh God, I always give, I'm depleted, you know, because
Yes.
you can get into that feeling of, well, I mean, that just happens as part of the
Sure.
year's process of teacher, I guess. So yeah.
Here's her last comment. Oh, sorry, good.
I love the story of the woman coming in and how she just, it sounded like she really gently guided, encouraged, and helped her see and gain confidence in herself. And I was intrigued as to how long ago that had happened, and she still remembers it really well.
Yeah. I don't know how long she's been teaching for, but she's in her first year of teaching.
Yeah, so, and I think she's been teaching for quite a while, so
yeah,
it's obviously stayed with her.
Yes.
It's really powerful.
Absolutely. So here's our last comment. I just wanted to say how lucky I was that he was patient and didn't throw me out, even though he was the king of Morocco's doctor. Yes.
Wow.
It's crazy. What a fun story.
Helen, well done.
Yes. And Debbie, thanks for being my co-host today.
Aww.
That was fun.
It's great being on. It's cool. I was just doing boring admin, but it's sunshiny here, so it makes a big difference.
That was 10 years ago. Oh, cool.
Oh, 10.
Nice.
Wow, and it seems like she remembers it. You remember it really fresh, Helen. It seems like days. Yeah. Blessed for more times like that. I just think that, you know, we want Pilates to grow and encourage each other and stimulate, and, like, you know, it's just yeah, it's good. I like it. I like stories like that.
Yes,
we want it to, like,
absolutely.
blossom and grow.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. And actually, Debbie, I'm going to call you back offline. I have a colleague who has a question about, like, your online program and stuff like that that I want to kind of talk through. So I'll message you offline in a second. But thank you, everyone who joined us today and watched the replay. And hopefully the replay will be a little bit clearer and won't have all the delays. Sometimes it works out that way. But cool.
Adios.
All right. See you later.
Bye.